Welcome to our cooking show. I'm Kim Campbell, PlantPure Chef. I am so excited to be here and to be teaching recipes because this is what I'm very passionate about. I'm a foodie and I'm all about making healthy and delicious meals. Today we're making a creamy African stew, and I've made this before for people. It's so popular. It's one of those recipes that we do during immersions, when I have company come to the house. It's just that delicious. It starts with sweet potatoes and then goes into onions and celery and carrots and curry and all kinds of great stuff. So let's get started.
This cooking show, hosted by PlantPure chef Kim Campbell, is produced by the nonprofit PlantPure Communities and sponsored by the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. Never before has it been so important to protect heirloom seeds. Baker Creek promotes home gardening and local food production and believes gardeners, farmers, and communities have the right to use, save, and share seeds as nature made them. Its goal is to help preserve seed diversity and food security in an age of corporate agriculture and patented, hybridized, and genetically modified seeds. We encourage our viewers to visit the diverse and beautiful collection of Baker Creek seeds and seedlings at rareseeds.com. We also encourage you to visit plantpurecommunities.org and consider providing monthly financial support. We are a nonprofit and cannot provide this kind of programming without public support. Thank you and enjoy the show.
This is a one-pot meal, so you really don't have to think about doing, other steps throughout. We're gonna throw it all in a pot and turn the pot on. So we're gonna start with 2 onions, and I slice my onions. I kind of like them in rings or half rings because I like to taste an onion. Oftentimes we dice them up real small and then you can't decipher or see the onions, so I like them kind of whole. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn my stove on just to get things heated and moving. I have 3 celery stalks diced and a couple of carrots diced. You can make your vegetables as big or as small as you like. You don't have to go as small as I have here. And then some garlic, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, or however garlicky you like things. The nice part about this recipe is that you can adjust it to what you like. If you don't like celery, then you can leave it out. It's pretty forgiving. And then 1 cup of vegetable broth. When you're buying vegetable broth, make sure you get a low sodium vegetable broth because you want to make sure you're not adding salt in through the vegetable broth because the regular ones are just really, really high in sodium. So, and I will tell you this tip, I've been in a jam where I haven't had veg broth on hand and I use water and it still works because there's so much flavor in this. And then we're gonna add a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And we're gonna add, this was a big sweet potato. I used 2 large sweet potatoes and I cut them into half an inch to 1 inch. And I might not be going in the order that it is in the cookbook, but that's okay because it'll all taste the same, just the same. It has 1 tablespoon of curry powder. If you're not a curry powder fan, you could leave the curry powder out. Some people just really don't like curry powder. That's what I love about this recipe. It is so forgiving. Some salt and pepper. I think I have a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then peanut butter. You want to buy the all-natural peanut butter. When you're buying peanut butter, you'll know if it's all natural because it'll have a little bit of oil at the top of the jar. If you see the oil, that means there's no added oils to it because peanuts naturally have oil. So when it sits on the shelf, it separates and rises to the top. If you buy a peanut butter and you don't see that oil on the top, they probably put oil in it, like a hydrogenated oil or palm oil to kind of hold it together. If you're wondering if the peanut butter is all natural, look at the ingredients. The only thing you should see is peanuts and maybe some salt, but you don't want to see any other ingredients. Then we're going to add a cup of coconut milk You can do light coconut milk or regular coconut milk, whatever you want. That really gives it that nice creamy mouthfeel. And then chickpeas, we're gonna add a whole can, which is about 1.5 cups of chickpeas. And then stir it up. Do you believe? That's it. That's all you have to do. Stir it up, and you want it to kind of come to a boil, get it really bubbly, and then bring it down to sort of a medium, and then cook it for, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes. So while this is cooking, you see it's starting to bubble. You can turn it down a little bit, and maybe to a medium, and then put a top on it and just let it do its thing. So let's talk about the rice, because we typically have this with rice. We use brown rice. You can use quinoa. You don't even need to use a rice with this. It's such a hearty stew that you could have it all by itself. If I had to choose my own favorite rice, I would pick a short grain brown rice, because it's sticky and it's the closest thing to white rice. If you really struggle with white rice or with brown rice, then you can use white rice. So let this cook for about 25-30 minutes. I put my rice in the Instant Pot. It's ready to go, and let this cook for a few minutes, and I'll meet you back here. So it's been about 20-25 minutes since I turned this. It's bubbly. The potatoes are tender. Oh, it smells good. They should have smell-o-vision. It's so yummy. So what you want to do at this point is you want to put your greens in. I'm going to use spinach because it's what I have. You could use kale if you wanted to, or any green. You could also use frozen spinach as well. So whatever you have on hand. I'm not even going to chop it, because as soon as we put it in here, you'll see it's going to wilt considerably. And I recommend that when you're cooking soups and stews, you go ahead and add some greens, because it's a great way to get those extra nutrients into your diet. So then just kind of toss it in there, and you'll see it's going to wilt really quickly. Don't put it in the beginning, because what you'll end up with is mush. Oh, you guys, it smells so good. So you can see you could eat it all by itself. You wouldn't even need to add rice. But if you wanted to put a grain underneath it, you could. See, it's already starting to wilt. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste. Get some of my brown rice out. I use an Instant Pot for my brown rice, but you can cook it stovetop. Instant Pot takes about 20 minutes. That's done. Put a little bit of rice. Wrong spoon. Put a little bit of rice in the bowl. Top it. I love to make this recipe for company because it's always really popular, and we made it in the film for our immersion, but it's always really popular, and it's inexpensive, and you can make it ahead of time. So I'm going to give it a taste if I don't burn my tongue off here. This is so good. It has so many flavors dancing around in it. It's got the peanut, sort of coconut curry flavor with all the vegetables. You're going to love it. It's that easy to make. The spinach is going to wilt. I know it hasn't all wilted, but it will wilt the warmer it gets. And I'll see you back here for our next show.